Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Coffee and Conversation right here on Yachting International Radio. My name is Rhea. I am your host, and today I'm really pleased to introduce to you Bunmi. How are you?
I'm very good. Thanks, Rhea, for inviting me onto your show. I'm really excited.
No, it's great to have you, especially in this day with all that's going on in the world. And let me just explain to the audience, you are the founder of Crystal and Rox.
Correct. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
before we get into that, I want people to know that you are actually a dental surgeon by trade.
I certainly am. I've been a dental surgeon since 1986, still 21 years of age though. Anyway, yeah, so dental surgery, is my main profession. And and this came to me, back in 2008 through something very interesting that happened to me. So yeah, that surgery is my thing, but crystals are actually my passion moving forward.
So you have this scientific background, and this is
Yeah.
something that you went through your own issues in life, and this is something that brought you peace and something that you explored further in order to take you to a different level. Can you explain a little bit about how crystals work within the existence of a human being and how it can help?
Right, okay. So just tell you a bit about myself. Back in 2008, I had a burnout, and the burnout, I was literally on my knees. It was ground zero for me, and I didn't know what to do. I had 9 months off work, and it was a case of sink or swim that I had to try and find a way of feeling well, feeling grounded, feeling at peace with myself. Many things were suggested. One was antidepressants, to help me along. Didn't want to have anything to do with that because I didn't want to get hooked on anything. And a friend of mine suggested that I see this lady, this shaman. Now, I'm a scientist by profession. Crystals, anything metaphysical, you name it, it was just alien to me. I didn't know anything about who a shaman was, what they did. And I kind of, let me think about it. I said to my friend, and I thought, well, we'll see. 2 weeks later, I was still feeling, pretty bad. So I did say to my friend, let me go and see this lady then. And I went with an open mind. I didn't know what to expect, but after a few sessions with her, and she did use crystals, I was absolutely, I felt so much better. I felt more grounded, more at peace with what I was going through. And I was going through a heck of a lot. Going through divorce, I was going through just everything was falling apart in my life. And I thought I was going to lose absolutely everything. So it helped me an awful lot. So I just got very fascinated with it. And what I found for me was, okay, it's working, but how do they work? I mean, what happens with a crystal when they interact with a human? Or, why do you feel so peaceful when you hold something like amethyst? Or why do you feel so energized when you hold something like citrine? And looking into it, there is a lot of science behind it. It's not woo woo. For me, it made perfect sense. And if something makes perfect sense to me, I run with it. I love it. If it's working for me, it's going to work for everybody else. Whether you believe in crystals or not, they have an energy, they have a vibration. So we vibrate a particular vibration. If we're sad or if we're ill, if we have any what we call dis-ease, so something's not running well in the body, your frequency goes down, your vibration goes down. I mean, that's a fact. Your energy is low. So it's energy, vibration, frequency. And simply, crystals are very, very stable forces of crystal energy. So energy which vibrates a particular frequency. And crystals are very, very stable, the most stable parts of the planet, elements of the planet, and they will emit a constant energy. That's why we use them in technology, for instance. We use them in laptops and your liquid crystal display and your cell phones because they are so constant and they are so stable, and the emanate vibrations which are extremely stable and they're not disrupted at all. And so a crystal can actually synchronize with your natural vibration to bring your vibration back up. So a body's natural blueprint is a higher vibration. So if your vibration drops for any reason, whether it's mental health or physical, anything like that, emotional. Crystals bring that vibration back into sync, your natural sync. So it syncs with your natural energetic blueprint. And that energetic blueprint is your wellness blueprint. Everybody has a blueprint. So that's what crystals do. And there's
So, well, I can
different.
imagine in this time, with a lot of people being very anxious and being very depressed. I mean, in Spain and Italy, I think Italy now is going into three weeks of isolation. Spain has done its second and is going into its third. I can imagine, especially when you are self-isolated, whether it being on a yacht or in a small apartment,
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of that anxiety and depression coming along with that.
Yeah, exactly. So, there's anxiety, there's depression, there's the fear of the unknown, fear of the future. And yes, so mental health is deteriorating and people just don't know what to do. And I think it's that fear of the unknown. What is the next step? This is the first time ever, I think, unprecedented that, that globally we don't know what's gonna happen. And is a very frightening situation to be in. So there are a lot of crystals that I like to use, and I've suggested a few to friends of mine as well and clients. But I'm just going to give you a few, just demonstrate a few of them, show a few to you. Is that okay?
That'd be wonderful. Thank you.
Right. Okay. So if anybody's there's a lot of self-isolation going on. We're cramped up with families, relatives, children, and yeah, that's kind of for most people, that's quite unusual because we're normally at work and the kids are at school. But in an environment where you're constantly 24/7 together, there's going to be tensions, there's going to be bad behaviors, there's going to be tempers flying around, and people just, not getting on. So I've suggested something like spirit quartz, which is a beautiful pink crystal. And that is a crystal of peace, and it's a crystal of calm, but it's a crystal of teamwork as well. If you're at work, it'd be great if you're working in the team, it brings you together. But as a family as well, it helps you to be more cohesive, working in balance, working, with each other, not against each other and causing further tension. So spirit quartz is a very good one to have in the house or wherever you're supposed to be. If there's a team of you, if you're on a yacht at the moment, this is
So on
great.
board with a
On
crew,
board,
that
this
would
is
be
great.
amazing.
It's
Yeah.
lovely. It's lovely. So it just gives you that harmony, that peaceful harmony. And you can have that on your windowsill, on a coffee table. You can have it on your person, put it in your pocket, stick it under your pillow, anything at all, or just bring it as a central focus for whichever room that you're all going to be in. So that's spirit quartz.
Nice.
The other one I like, this is my go-to stone actually, that's amethyst. That's an amethyst. It's a dogtooth amethyst, so it's quite raw looking. Um, Amethyst brings calm. It brings focused energy. It brings a peaceful energy. It's almost as though everything's going to be all right. That's how you feel when you hold amethyst. I feel supported. I feel loved, and everything's going to feel okay. So that's a really beautiful vibration to be able to have, because despite what's going on, I knew when I was, using this a lot and working with amethyst a lot, when I was going through my burnout, I felt everything was going to be okay. Despite what was going on around me, I knew I was going to be okay. And that's
So
what
let me
that
ask you something. Do you have to touch these stones, or is it okay that they're just in your space?
they could be just in your space. They emanate that vibration. That vibration will be in the space. So you're going to be part of that. So it's supporting you while it's in the room. If you want to, as I said, I used to, take it with me everywhere. I'd have a little pouch, put it in my pocket. And it's a bit of an anchor, really. When you look at it, you feel, you start to feel peaceful as well. So I used to hold it if I was stressed, and that would help me. So whether people think it works or not, it could be an anchor for somebody, just a reminder to be more peaceful. But for me, it works. I know they work. So that's, keep an open mind. That's all I say. So that's amethyst. Then I love this one. I don't know if you can see that. That's citrine. That's beautiful. That's a stone of joy. Because we need that little uplift. And at the moment, if you're not feeling joyful, This will just give you a little bit of a lift to kind of find something to be joyful around, at home or if you go for your walk. And I always feel gratitude is very important, no matter what you're going through. And I know when I was going through my own particular challenges, one thing that I always exercised was gratitude every day, and just little things, whether it was the weather was nice or I could go for a walk or I could make my bed sometimes. Sometimes I couldn't even, the only thing I could do that day was make my bed. And I was just grateful for that, or make something to eat. That was a gratitude for me that I could eat. Um, it's just helping you to exercise gratitude and it just gives you a nice little uplift so that you can feel joyful. You can still look at things joyfully. And I know it is difficult right now, but it's so important to just try and look for the tiny things in life, the little things in life that will just bring you that smile on your face. No matter what's going on in life, try and find that. So that's citrine. Yeah, that's lovely. And the last thing, my little boulder. Doo-doo.
Wow.
Juicy. That's yeah, you can't put that down your bra. This is
No.
rose. This is rose quartz, the stone of unconditional love. And again, a bit like spirit quartz, it just sends out that beautiful vibration of self-acceptance because a lot of people may also be beating themselves up. Why didn't I get home on time? Why did I just miss, the chance to get back to see my family? If I'd have saved more money, then I wouldn't be worried about my job, not having work, that kind of thing. So people are going through this reflective mode. They're beating themselves up. What if, what if, what if? It's done. It's past. Moving forward. And rose quartz gives you that self-acceptance and that self-love. And also acceptance of other people, because at the moment, again, where, maybe a bit of intolerance going on and, you're living in your own little world and, your problem's not as bad as my problem, all that will melt away with rose quartz. It's all about connectivity and reaching out to people, and helping other people. And sometimes in times of need, the best thing you can do is help somebody else, or pick up the phone to someone else and see how they're doing, and that just gives you that push to reach out and speak to people. And especially if you're on your own as well, if you're living on your own, having rose quartz is lovely. And again, it's that peaceful self-love, but it also gives you that push to pick up the phone to somebody, because you can become very isolated, very insular, and introverted and depressed. So, having rose quartz will just help you, give you that lift, for you to have the energy to reach out to other people and keep connecting.
Well, and realistically, the ultra high net worth individuals, there is a large variety of those as well that
Yeah,
sort of put that as part of the entire framework of their homes.
exactly. Yeah, and that's what we do. We install marble with crystals in sacred geometry. So we actually install the actual whole floor with a crystal grid pattern for well-being, whatever the family may need. So it could be for blessings, peace and harmony amongst the family. It could be in the bedroom, so for more sleep. Sleep's a very important thing these days. People aren't getting enough of it, or their patterns of sleep are disrupted. So that's where our grids come in, and they are bespoke to the person, so it's not a set design for a set individual. It's bespoke to that person, that family, and their needs. So they're
So
really
you
beautiful.
you actually go in and speak to the family and get a feel for who they are and what they're lacking in their lives and what they're
That's,
needing in their lives, and then you're able to go back and find the stones in which are going to be beneficial to their
that's
home.
right. Yeah, yeah. So we do work hard on that and finding which stones are, and then we've got various methods, which I'm not going to go into, to actually see which is the most harmonious crystals for that individual. I work with my collaborators Penny King from Penny King Crystals, and we work together, to work with individuals, high net worth individuals, who want either large pieces that go the whole floor. It could go on the wall. It could go in a meditation room, which is beautiful. We actually do them in bottom of swimming pools as well. So it's private jets. So
Yeah.
these are all the possibilities, and they're beautiful because sacred geometry is the language of the universe. And when you use sacred geometry with crystals, we are all singing and dancing. And the vibration that imbues actually into the building itself, you're supporting that client 100%. It's giving them the maximum health possible.
Well, and your distributor, she is still delivering at this moment, is she not? She's able to deliver, I mean, not in person, but she can send through delivery services anywhere in
Yes,
the world.
yes, she can. Pennykingcrystals.com.
Well, we will supply that information afterwards. So I would
Brilliant.
suggest then if you could send me an email or a message, just those ones that you did mention today
I
here,
will do. I will do.
so that I can put that up underneath this interview. And if anybody is interested, we'll as well include the information where you can order it. Because
Fantastic.
if you are stuck on board a luxury yacht at the moment, it's luxury for some, but it isn't necessarily luxury when you're stuck there and quarantined there and not allowed off.
Exactly, exactly. And just blessings to all of you as well, stuck out there. And it's not going to be forever. So just hold tight and just keep grounded and stay peaceful. And we'll give you those crystals if you request them.
Well, thank you very much. We will definitely put all that information there for
Thank
you.
you.
Bunmi,
Thank
thank
you,
you
Rhea.
so much for
Thanks
joining
for
us
coming on.
and
Thank
for
you.
your good advice, because you know what? Sometimes it's not medication that you need. Sometimes it's
No,
just reconnection to oneself.
exactly. Totally. Thank you so much, Rhea. Thank you.
No, thank you. Once again, you've been watching another edition of Coffee and Conversation right here on Yachting International Radio. My name is Rhea. I have been your host. We'll see you next time.